What makes a person boring? Talking about nothing but themselves. On the flip side, someone asking you so many questions that it feels like an interview. And when you try to turn the focus on them, they spike it right back. Alternatively, saying nothing about themselves. Agreeing with everything you say but never offering anything unique. I have this problem and don't know how to deal with it. If you give me 10 minutes, I could come up with something. But by then the conversation has moved on, or perhaps it has stopped altogether. Even just writing this, I took some time to think if I wanted to comment, and then what did I want to say. Agreed. When they only talk about other people, like talking shit about people is their only personality. My roommate is just like that. OMG, don't get me started on him. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt. I came here to be enlightened, not to be described. SMH. Haha, I wonder who all the boring people are. Fuck. Then you have been enlightened, do with this knowledge what you will. Probably take up a hobby or something. Having their personality centered around one single thing, and only that thing. Potheads and crossfitters. Edit, yes, not everyone who smokes weed is boring, but you know exactly which potheads I'm referring to. Crossfitters on the other hand, uck. I'm gay, and the worst kind of gay person is the one that everything in their life is about being gay. It's so fucking boring. I get it. You're gay. I'm gay too. Gay rights are important. Yes. The same sex is hot. I agree. Drag Race is a fun show, yep. But like, learn an instrument or read a book or something FFS. When they agree with everything you agree with, you need to have your own opinions. This salad is excellent. I hate this restaurant and I hate your stupid face, Sally. I totally agree with you, dude. No sense of humor and or sense of adventure. We all love a humorous adventurer. Sense of adventure these days doesn't mean what it used to. Real adventure isn't all fun and games. Real adventure is 90% boredom for 10% action. Edit, I'm a prospector and place a minor in the Yukon. I have a fairly good gauge on what real adventure is. Too many McCandless idiots out there these days. One-dimensional personalities. Like the always negative guy, the I only talk about work girl, or the all we do is talk about our pets or children couple. You get the gist. I think this is the best summary I've read on this thread so far. A guy I know recently started smoking weed and it's all he talks about. Every story starts with weed and it's so boring. We get it, you smoke weed, chill. No sense of humor. Is this supposed to be a joke or something? 'Cause I'm not laughing. Not funny. Till, I'm a boring person. My brain is pretty much screaming in agony after reading this thread because I could relate to some parts but not to others. So I can't tell if I'm boring, not boring, or even half boring. To be fair, a lot of perfectly pleasant, positive, and likable people are a little boring. You can be guaranteed not boring by being a total train wreck instead. Not being passionate about anything. I'm passionate about being unpassionate. Till depression makes you boring. Relying on other people to make all decisions. I think I should upvote this. Should I? Ah, fuck, everything in this thread is personally attacking me. Not being able to have a meaningful conversation. I sometimes struggle with this. There are people I can talk to easily, without seemingly running out of things to say/ask, but if I feel I'm the one who has to initiate, I tend to get really wrapped up in my head about what to ask/say next, and then assume the other person must think I'm dull cause I can't chit-chat like a regular person. Then I see other people who can talk to anyone about anything and I'm like, was I sick the day they taught the talking like a normal person class at school? How was your day? My dad used to always say this, if you're bored, you're boring. I used to hate it, but there's some truth that the people in this world who are interesting are people who can find wonder in any situation. If you're bored, you're boring. The agony and the irony, they're killing me woo. Reminds me of the phrase interested is interesting. My interpretation is that you can have an engaging conversation with someone simply by listening to them and expressing interest in what they're saying. Make encouraging noises, ask follow-up questions, etc. Honestly, a lot of it comes down to storytelling. I remember listening to one of my cousins tell a story, and I realized it was super boring, but I was super interested, so I started paying attention to the way she tells stories. I like to think people are more interested in what I have to say now, but also I've had a pretty fucking crazy life so far, so there's a lot to talk about. What sort of approach did you observe with your cousin's storytelling? A good story doesn't have to be about anything interesting. If you pay attention to what stand-up comics talk about, you'll notice that a lot of their stories can be about really mundane events, but they're still hilarious due to the delivery. People with no hobbies/skills. I remember always struggling to answer those questions, what are your hobbies, and in hindsight, I was just super dull and barely living. What are you into now? I didn't really have any real hobbies as a kid/teen because my family was poor, and because of that my parents never encouraged me to get a hobby as it could potentially cost a lot of money. I played video games, but not sure if I would really consider that a hobby. Now that I'm grown up, I've started playing guitar. No creativity, no original ideas. Everything is predictable. Originality really is key. You know what they say. I'm an avid Redditor. Hey, I recently got my third account over 100k karma. When they don't ever do anything spontaneous, and act as if anything different/unique is weird and embarrassing. Oof. This is the first one that's really got me. Also, nothing worse than someone asking or expecting me to do something out of my comfort zone like karaoke or dancing. The second you want me to do it, it creates this imaginary pressure to me, and even if I might do it on my own, I definitely won't now. I get embarrassed way too easily at things that no one would consider embarrassing. I am most productive and happiest when I have a set routine. If you want to change it, I need proper notice so I can prepare and plan accordingly so my routine has minimum impact. If it's last minute, all it will do is make me anxious the entire time, and I will find no enjoyment from something I might have otherwise really liked. About 50% of this thread is people that misunderstand what the word boring means, and comment on things that irritate them instead. This is the 5000 thread FLX. Thread in disguise. I observed the same. I thought I was the only one, lol, smiley face. I'm quite a boring person. I'm very talkative and have interests and hobbies that most other people don't have or can't relate with, so when I talk about them and in my mind I'm being very passionate, the other person listening is getting bored to death, especially because I'm very old school, so most people perceive my interests as mom/granny things, which just adds to the lame/boring vibe. Also, I am not comfortable being silent and sometimes keep talking for the sake of it. This one gets so boring, even my boyfriend admits sometimes he gets sleepy listening to me talk like that. When the only thing you have in common to talk about is school/work. Any advice on opening up and speaking about something else? If their identity is rooted in rejecting things they dislike, instead of embracing things they like, it makes a person small, unidimensional and disconnected from the world. Have you ever noticed how, when people communicate their unpopular opinions, it's always something they dislike? Disliking things has become a trend, because by disliking something you risk absolutely nothing. By embracing something unpopular you do, and you actually become an individual. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.